Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the AEL High School League for Turn 4 for Marvel Rivals. It feels a little bit out of place that I'm here in the driver's seat, but of course I'm joined by my beautiful mustache man. Smiles, how are we doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a big day yesterday, but could never miss an opportunity to be casting the AEL High School Division again. Quite excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say we're into Term 4. You know, we did Nationals. It feels like a little bit ago, and I was going to say, you know, you got to experience some of the high school action, and we'll get to see a little bit more of that on display this evening. But of course, we want to thank our sponsors. First of all, of course, AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide the best in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. And of course, as well, got to thank HyperX. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks when you need speed, control, and zero distractions. Officeworks has got the tech. Discover gaming made to handle serious play. And last but not least, Indomie, the noodle partner made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie meringue will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Again, Smiles. Shout out to our sponsors. Couldn't do it without them.
Yep. Gotta love having them here supporting us and helping us get through it.
Absolutely. And of course, we've gonna get through some action in just a little bit. But yeah, I was gonna say, you know, we've had some things change since we did Nationals for Term 3, and you know, there's a few meta picks now being high priority. You know, we've had a few patches since. And Smiles, I was going to say, what do we expect from this afternoon's games? I was going to say, what do we see in the terms of the picks here?
I think we're gonna still be looking out for that Hella No More, as that team up has become even more present, especially considering its prominence in MRI over the weekend, as well as characters like Loki returning into the meta, as he's a rather good answer to Psylocke, who's been also quite dominant at the moment.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Psylocke. So the anti-dive, of course, is a thing to note as well. I was going to say a lot of Daredevil in terms of, you know, we're speaking about the MRI specifically, a lot of Daredevil that's been played overseas. And I was going to say maybe some of these teams opt to bring it here in the high school league. But yeah, a lot of presence towards the dive, but as well, we've seen a lot of teams kind of opt for the triple, as it's been dubbed, you know, the triple strategist, triple vanguard. It's always something hard to break through on that defensive side.
It is a really strong start to any convergence map, having just the triple setup there, preventing any space being taken, and just holding you at your own spawn door. Feels a little insulting, but it just works so well, and it is a real tough nut to crack if a team can pull it off well.
Yeah, absolutely. Pulling through and breaking through into towards, of course, our picks and bans, picks and locks, different terminology for it, of course, but there is bans, and we'll be seeing Trinity Titans taking on the Navi Gators, or Navi. And this is going to be interesting, because, you know, we spoke a lot about the triple, we spoke a lot about Psylocke, Loki being back in the mix, but as well, Venom Jeff is still a pretty prevalent thing at the moment.
That team up that Venom gives Jeff, Link really let both his whole team together, even as somewhat of an off-support himself. The Emma Venom cover from team of Trinity there is also a really strong Vanguard lineup.
Yeah, it should be interesting where we'll see these picks and bans start off. We'll see already prior towards the Black Panther ban here from Navi. Of course, Trinity opting to take away the rocket. The BRB beacons have been pretty troublesome to deal with at times. I was going to say, just you get that free res, you get up a high crucial target back to your team, and it can kind of turn the fight in your favor if you're able to get a BRB onto a crucial target on your team.
His ultimate too also wreaking havoc at the moment, with not even Phoenix Ult being able to shut it down anymore. That 40% damage with the health. Team Navi picking up a Luna ban, going for the strategist at the current phase, taking out two different main supports, maybe looking for triple run.
Yeah, potentially. Gonna be Invisible Woman lock in here for Trinity, so taking away the cloak, taking away the rocket, but locking in the Sue Storm. We've seen a lot of focus towards that pick. You know, we've seen Loki be high prio, but as well, Sue Storm's like one of those strategists you always rely on in that backline, especially backed up by a Jeff. Can be quite a fearsome duo to deal with. And We'll see what Na'Vi have to answer with their lock in here. Of course, they did take away the Luna, so a lot of different priority here from the Na'Vi side, whereas Trinity, they're going for a lot of strategist focus. Na'Vi kind of spreading it thin a little bit.
Na'Vi are missing a crucial player that's rather unfortunate, but they still have a good control of what DPS are going to be played there. Seeing that Trinity tends to be a bit of a dive, I think the DPS might serve them well. The Invis band for the Invis protectors does give Na'Vi the option to run Invis into the dive though, so let's see.
Pick your hero or villain. I'm not judging.
Yeah, we'll see. I was going to say the Helena Namor, as we spoke about, is up and available for both sides. So Trinity already hovering the Namor. Going to be going with the Ultron, so triple strategist here. Strong front line with Whoopers and Benz there on the Venom. For the side of Na'Vi, a lot of questions. I was going to say Feng Chung Lucky in the Adam Warlock. We got Jeff here, the Jeff Nato with Mitcho on the Storm. And as well Moon Knight. So should be an interesting one here to kick it off on Domination. We'll just wait to see what Na'Vi lock in as their final pick. But yeah, I was going to say Trinity kind of just, I guess, playing to their strengths a little bit. You know, we're seeing Whoopers on the Emma throughout last term, and it was a very strong, very good frontline pick for the Trinity Titans. So I was going to say good to see him return to that one. But as well, Domo on the Ultron. We haven't seen, I was going to say, you know, when Ultron came out, it was like every game you'd see an Ultron. But he's kind of fallen out of favor a little bit.
The nerfs have hit him pretty hard, and I am a bit of a fan of this, as the triple strategist Ultron lineup was a rather invincible backline, being a bit of a dive player. However, they are running trips, or Na'Vi here have opted for a rather weaker backline in favor of protecting or setting up for a Sharknado win condition. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to pull any of those off today here. Fight starting out with Domo poking from long distance, just building up Ultra, trying to get an early Ultron ult for his team, ideally.
Yeah, trying to get that Reg of Ultron online early as well. Hedgian on the Namor. You see the cool little Halloween costume Hedgian's got on here with the Namor. I was going to say, taking up towards the height, putting those squids, of course, up on the height, trying to deny Mitcho from, like, kind of walking up, just getting a little bit of chip damage in. You see Trinity taking a little bit more forward space here. They're really wanting to fight Na'Vi early.
That they are. They have point control at this point, which is not ideal for Na'Vi. The Venom and Emma frontline letting them control this tight corridor very well. They get down the range, continuing the dive, going further in.
Yeah, absolutely. Big double there from Benz to kick it off. Whippers to follow it up with another KO onto Mitcho. This comes through for Feng Chung, but it's in the face of Trinity, and they're able to really kind of stall these ones out. They did find the Strange first. We'll see now the swap over from Ratnado is going to be over towards the Groot, so maybe looking to isolate targets a little bit more, playing to that Jeff team up, and take a little bit more space back. Trinity, they're controlling it all for the moment.
That they are. The Groot letting them reclaim a lot of space, especially into that Emma there, will prove quite valuable, as well as letting their Jeff get ult even faster than he already is, and helping him keep pace with the Storm for their synergized ult combo.
Yeah, need to get that Jeff NATO online and take back that point. Trinity, for the moment, of course, Ultimates as well, building on their side, as we said. Domo getting out a little bit of early chip damage, getting towards 90% on that Rage of Ultron. Brick City as well, not too far away from the Jeff Time Whoopers. Psionic Seduction's about to come up as well. So a lot of ultimates starting to come online for both sides. Na'Vi as well. We do see, of course, Moon Knight not as quick as charging as we would have liked here from Na'Vi, but you know, they've swapped out to the Groot. This probably helps the Moon Knight isolate targets a little bit more. You put the wall up on one of the Trinity guys, you cut off the strategist from healing them, and then you kind of find the KO from there.
Yeah, it also gives Na'Vi a second win condition to fight for with the Groot and Moon Knight ult combo as well. So if they can alternate their win conditions, they can probably pull off a lot of really quick and brutal fights.
And we're back into it. Always bound to happen, but gladly sorted out. And we're going back into this one. Great Groot Wars here from Ratnado. Trying to set up a crucial pick, but it is going to be Verixity to find that one. We'll see the rest of Trinity now start to walk it up. We'll see a double from Loopers. KOs coming here from the Trinity Titans, and once again controlling the space, and it feels like Na'Vi, of course, they're struggling a little bit. We'll see the swap up now. Ratonito just trying out every single Vanguard in the sun and see what kind of works for him.
To see what sticks. They have their 6th player again now, so it should be a lot more of a easier team fight than what it's been so far. They are going for the Jeff Noda possibly, with Mitch popping Storm Ultimate going in. The Jeff does not get the combo off, and he is just left alone in the backline.
Has some good chip damage there from Mitcho, but it felt like, yeah, the follow-up with the Jeff didn't really quite hit its mark. We'll see Red Voltron out of Domo, and we'll see Hedgion there with a Squid find a few KOs, and Na'Vi are bleeding now towards this point, as we'll see another pause. Trinity winning out that fight decisively. I was going to say, it felt like that Omega Hurricane was just so close to being good, but of course just the follow-up didn't quite happen there for Na'Vi, and Trinity, they're able to take it with just one good Rage of Ultron.
It was there, it was ready to tear them apart, but I think Trinity were just able to keep Na'Vi's Jeff from getting close enough to be able to activate the combo. So it's a very well done play from Trinity there. They have a bunch of ultimates themselves set up here. 5 ultimates online, ready for this next team fight. It will be a bit of a brutal fight, if not quick and successful for Na'Vi here. But they don't have either win condition anymore, as the Storm ult is now down, as with no longer having a Groot ult. So it'll be interesting to see if they play off maybe their Atom Res, trying to bait out the Trinity ultimates first.
Yeah, I was gonna say try to get rid of maybe the Horn of Proteus from Hedgion, Psionic Seduction, and then get a nice Karmic Revival there from Feng Chong. It's I was gonna say a very impactful ultimate. It's I was gonna say very hard as well to position. I was gonna say especially with the fact that Trinity have been controlling all this front space. Feng Chong can't really get into a corner, I guess, where that Karmic Revival is probably as effective as he would like, but yeah, Na'Vi, they do as well have the Khonshu available here, so we'll need to see these ultimates from Na'Vi really have impact as we quickly, hopefully, get back into it very soon.
We will indeed. But with the Moon Knight ultimate, maybe they might be able to force Trinity to start at least using some of their own in responses. It's a really strong ultimate for forcing cooldowns and ults from the enemy team there, especially if they're not ready for it. In that frontward space that they're playing as well is a real prime location for KDS to place it down today.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask for Na'Vi at the moment. I was going to say Domination's one of, I was going to say just to mimic points from MRI. It's a very important map in terms of the best of 3s, the best of 5s, where you kind of want to get that early presence, you want to kind of get that early momentum. See Domo. A little snipe on the KO, and that will be the first point Burner T'Challa taken by Trinity Titans.
That it is, and they have cleanly taken at that with a 99-0 there, leaving 5 ultimates up as well for to start off the next fight on the Stellar Spaceport here. So, yeah, I think we're in for quite the ult show right now.
Yeah, a lot of them online. Jeff Time, Little Boundary, as well, Feast of the Abyss. I was going to say N-Benz can probably blow up a target 100-0 with a quick KO. Na'Vi have swapped a few things up. We've now moved away from the Jeff Storm and now onto the Punisher here for Mitcho. So very much, I guess, a priority, wants to break those squids, but as well wants to shut down Domo, because Domo's just been kind of freely cherry-picking a lot of damage onto Na'Vi's backline, and then you, of course, got Whoopers, you've got Embeds just running at them with the Emma and Venom. So, you know, maybe Na'Vi's answer is the Punisher, and it could be good as we go into it here on the Stellar Spaceport. A lot of presence as well towards the high ground is probably something we want to see here from Na'Vi, especially with that Moon Knight available. We can get some good arcs out into some good choke points, but Jeff Time immediately ripped here from Veritsies. Curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, he's going for a deep ultimate on the Strategist, and I believe he might have grabbed them. But Domo letting them control that high ground there, and they are all escorting the Jeff to the cliff face. He gets the Moon Knight, who had his ultimate up. That was a very strong early pick there from
That's quick KO coming out from Trinity. I was going to say, not expecting the Jeff Time there. And then's going to be swinging around here, finding one on the Feng Chong, and we'll see another collection from Whoopers. Able to just walk up on a Mitcho for free, because everybody's gone here from Na'Vi. The front line is bleeding on their way back to spawn. We'll see Whoopers walk it back now. Good damage dish out here. Domo keeping everybody healthy there. Another pick from Whoopers here. Once again, Trinity, they take position on the point, tap it, and then they kind of bully Na'Vi for the space there. Good Horn of Proteus as well from Hedgian.
Trinity doing a very good job here of staggering Na'Vi and not letting them ever get fully set up and get a proper fight going off here. They have gone for the stall with the cap, but it might not be to much avail with Trinity already having that point control and all 5 of them on the point.
Another care there from N-Benz. Taking space, but then, of course, happy to give it up as well at time. Volton coming out here from Sm1lez trying to have this back line here because nobody from the Vanguard side of things can really get there to help Fun Chung out. Once again, Trinity just walking all over. Ribvid taken out as well. Na'Vi, once again, losing point percentage. Trinity starts to build to 60, and this is looking good for them now.
This is looking very, very good for them. However, they only have 1 support ultimate online here, and Na'Vi are sitting on 5 of their own. It's going to be... Oh, it should be a rather swimming fight for Na'Vi here, especially with the Punisher ult that can tear through an entire team and can out-damage a Invis ult.
As well, interesting adaptation. We'll see the thing from Rib there. We'll see one shoot coming out here from Squid Blaze, but it doesn't quite hit its mark. And we'll actually find Hedgian. Cyanic Seduction in return here from Trinity. And Whoopers will walk it up there. Starting Fun Chung now looking for Squid Days as well. Rixity will be able to find the opposing Jeff in the fight. Great choke slam there from Whoopers. Quite low and taken out by Ribbid, but still, all of the KOs are going towards Trinity. Nobody on the point here for Na'Vi. 99 will go 100, and Trinity will clean it up with a quick 2-0 here on Burn and T'Challa.
Very well played by Trinity there. A very clean domination from them, which is what we like to see. This map does favor dive, and that seems to be Trinity's specialty, and it is working in their favor against Na'Vi, especially with a lot of the well-placed bans by Trinity as well.
Yeah, smiles around here for Trinity. That was a good domination out of them, and I was going to say, Na'Vi, I feel like they kind of let a lot of priority picks let over to Trinity, right? Of course, Whoopers on the Emma. We saw what Hedgian as well can do. Domo giving Rixity the Jeff as well. I was going to say, you know, very early ultimates that came out of Rixity, but they still found their mark. And of course, Rixity and some of those 1v1 engagements against the backline kind of paying off dividends here for Trinity. And what a great way to start it for them in the series, Na'Vi. Of course, they tried a lot of different things. They swapped to the Punisher. We saw the Thing and Torch come out there at the end of things, but just a lot of band-aid solutions to probably a bigger problem at the moment.
Indeed. They tried for the Jeff Nader combo as well, but Trinity was just too prepared. They were able to keep that Jeff separated and the combo couldn't go off. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt their bans going into the next round, knowing what Trinity has kind of got set up for them today. And if they'll take it to a map that isn't optimal for the dive comp that Trinity is running. Yeah,
I was going to say, it's, you know, we've got heavy dive, but then you've got Hedgian kind of just playing that back line, setting up the squids, keeping, I was going to say anybody, if they're in the back line, healthy, but yeah, full side of Na'Vi. I was going to say, we probably need to see some adaptations immediately, all right? I was going to say, as we said, a lot of bans that came through, and I was going to say the Moon Knight wasn't too bad for Squid Days, all things considered, so yeah, maybe they'll look to bring that into towards the future. I didn't mind the Lunar Snow ban. Black Panther was an interesting one as well. I believe Trinity do play the Panther from time to time, but I was going to say Panther's not really in the meta at the moment.
He fades in and out a bit, but with a dive team like that, especially with a Venom, a Black Panther is a lot harder to answer for with a giant Vanguard in the midst of 3 of your supports not letting any heals get through. The Namor, though, can work into that, and they did have that option open, especially as Hela also was left unbanned, so it'd be interesting to see if one of the teams actually go for the Hela Namor team-up this time around. Yeah,
I was going to say, you know, we spoke about it being available throughout that pick and ban. As soon as we saw the lock-in from Hedgian, we're like, all right, surely it's Hela Namor, but, you know, they just went to the Namor, skip the Hela.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. A lot of, I was going to say, different picks that Trinity can bring out as well. You know, we saw the Namor. I believe Hedgian can play a lot of different things from what we've seen throughout the high school league, and I was going to say Whoopers. You know, you let him play Emma, he's going to play Emma every time.
Emma invincible to nerfs Herself, she's always in the meta, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with being an Emma player just for that very reason. The Emma pick also just works so well with a Venom. And with a Venom frontline player, they can just control all space. They can have control in the enemy backline and the enemy frontline. It's a nightmare to break through if you don't have the right comp set up for it. And Trinity banned it out so you couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say as well, the Venom allows a lot of flexibility too. You know, a lot of heavy dive, but as well the ability to swing away in a pinch. And you know, you take a little bit too much damage, you're like, oh, I'm about to get KO'd right now. I need to get out. You can pop that shield. You can swing away. Very versatile character that Venom can be. Just not, you know. I was going to say we know him for the dive, but he can also be a pretty slippery target as well to take out.
That he can be. He surprisingly enough, he can work in brawl and poke comps as well, which they kind of started pivoting to the end of the round there.
And I believe we are getting into our second map. It will be Spider Island here for our second one. A very important convoy map, I was going to say, very much lends itself to the triple as we alluded to before the game started. So it would be curious to see if that's on the cards here for Trinity this time around.
If either team tries to pull out the goats, then this ban phase will be very important, as it'll determine what variant of it they'll need to run, what strategists or vanguards will be available for that permanent spawn door hold. But so far, the first ban is to Navi, and it is that Emma. So they are taking down the Emma Venom Vanguard lineup.
Yeah, kind of wanted to see that one immediately, right? I was going to say, letting Whoopers play Emma for free, and Navi think one better of it. Going to be seeing again the rocket ban here from the side of Trinity, so maybe that's a target ban. Maybe a little bit of inside info, because I was going to say, normally we don't see the rocket, I guess, banned first. It has been a very strong pick as of late, but, you know, there's a lot more priority picks of the meta at the moment. But I was going to say, Jeff lock in here for Trinity, so very excited to be happy with that one. Cloak and Dagger actually going to be locked in this time by Navi, so Trinity can't take that one away. And we'll see as well, Namor. So Navi's just like, you know what, all of the characters from last game that were a problem, we're taking them away this one.
Pretty good response to the series of events that unfolded. That also takes out the team up, so we definitely won't be seeing that this game. They have taken out... Trinity has banned Punisher here, which is a rather strong answer to the Venom, so maybe they were finding that Navi pivoting to the Punisher was causing issues for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially with the fact that Domo was like just getting a lot of chip damage for free in that backline, and maybe he started to feel a little bit of hurt from that Punisher, so they'll take it away. Trinity as well, locking in the Venom. Kind of respect that one. We'll see Navi what they go for. It's going to be the Hawkeye lock in, and then amped up ban. Trinity will take away Penny once again. So some interesting ones here. A lot of adaptation from Navi that I wasn't expecting.
A lot of adaptation from both teams. I think the bans are looking a lot more exciting this time around, and have left open a much more unique variety of comps for these teams to use. Neither seem to be opting for the goats here, which is... It can be risky to play, so I do understand that, because if you don't play it right, that gives the enemy team a lot of space at the start.
Yeah, I believe Trinity were hovering it for just a second, but they thought on the wise up Whipper's going to be on towards the Star-Lord this time around, and we'll see Hedgian swap it up to Smiles Mag Prism, as some would dub it, but I don't feel like Hedgian's, you know, probably entrapped too much here. I was going to say a lot of freedom that you can bring out with that Magneto as well, but yeah, for Navi, bringing out a lot of different things. I was going to say, Hawkeye prioritize his or Squid Blaze, as I said, maybe just not feeling it from Moonbat's like, alright, give me Hawkeye. We'll see Strange from Ratinator as well. See Fun trying to swap it up. He's going to be on the Daredevil of all things, so hopefully get to see that Daredevil let loose as Trinity defend, Navi to attack to start it off here on Spider Island.
That they will be. The Daredevil does let them have control of a lot more flanks with that inbuilt sight through walls that he has. He goes in on the Star-Lord looking for an early pick here, but they do not let it happen. Trinity are holding that early space, trying to not let them get out of their spawn. Playing a pseudo goat comp here instead. It's working out rather well for them so far. They get an early pick onto their floor.
Taking out Mitcha early. Venom as well getting involved, then Ben's taking Squid Blaze, so yeah, I was going to say Navi a little bit like of a two-pincer approach there, trying to get out both sides of the spawn doors. But Trinity, they just have the freedom to walk up, right? You can just soak so much damage with the Venom, with Magneto. And then, of course, having, triple strategist allows Trinity to just kind of stay healthy and stay situated where they are. Nice snipe, though, from Squidblaze, taking out Bluebo to start it off.
Yeah, that is their primary strategist, so this is really dangerous for them here. They are giving a lot of space and playing in fear. Squidblaze gets a second pick with Rib following up there, and it looks like this is going to be a team fight win for Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're able to find just the prioritized strategies there towards the back line, and she got a ton of damage. That's why I believe we wanted to see Na'Vi bring out the Hawkeye. Just, I was going to say, easy to dish out a lot of KOs there with the bow. And we'll see now Trinity forced back towards the stairs for the moment. Nato a little bit deep in the picture of all things. I was going to say Feng Chung as well, trying to dive once again, but will get focused out here. Domo Res. Whoopers, though, will be locked up there by the
Agamotto.
Agamotto, that's the one.
It's Jeff getting 2 off the map. That is really well done by Trinity there, and it's a 4v6, which they will then clean up and force Navi all the way back.
Yeah, got a little tongue tied there. I got stunned as well by that Agamotto. It felt like, but yeah, the Galactic Legend got shut down there by Whoopers, but just looking to build percentage back up. But these are Trinity, I was going to say, just after that initial fight that they lost to Na'Vi there, off of Squidblaze finding the KOs, they opted to play a little bit more safer. They're like, alright, we don't have to feed into the Hawkeye. We can play around the corner. We can kind of hide away from that one. We'll let Na'Vi walk up. We'll see Thor Ultimate come out here towards the back line. Ratnator walking up onto Verixity as well. The strategist run on fire by the Strange of all things. This is Feast of the Abyss, though. I was going to say, in return, it's Vanguards here on top of Na'Vi's back line. We'll see Enben swap in towards the back line. Edgin as well does have the mag, so Meteor M available. They have to deal with Feng Chung right now. Dashing away. Galactic Legend out of Whoopers. Trying to find some picks here to let the devil out in the back end of things, but it is going to be Galactic Legend here from Whoopers. Really up in air for that one. It will be able to find Jatilia. They will be able to find Ratnado as well. And they'll hold the mission vehicle where it stands.
They have done a really tough fought fight there that went on for a rather long time, but Trinity holds it together. They give space when they need to, they take it back when they need to, and now they're looking to set up a little further forward for an earlier fight, not on the payload against Na'Vi.
And moving away from the mission vehicle, Squidblaze just trying to find a quick area to start it off. We'll see Jeff time swallow up a few enemies there. We'll see Eye of Agamotto in return from Ratnado. Ultron up in the air though. Even everybody topped up, and we'll see healing going on. Verixity actually finding all of these KOs. Bluebo as well getting involved. It's the strategist picking up the KOs and getting those final hits in. Na'Vi now, it is all hands on deck. They've got 10 seconds to get back towards this mission vehicle. We'll see Ratnado fly through air with the Spider-Man to just touch to enable overtime to come through. We'll see Jeff time as well from Jatilia. Will be able to swallow up his teammate, I believe. Ratnado able to live for a little bit longer, and we'll see now Feast the Abyss come out. We'll see Invisible Boundary, and we'll see the Magneto Meteor M come in for the slam, but holding it for so long, and it will be Rivvid taken out.
That's both strategists down for Na'Vi here, so it's just clean up for Team Trinity, and they managed to get the last 2 remaining duelists.
Yep. That's a good hold there from Trinity, backing off towards the stairs, just not allowing that Hawkeye any space to freely rain those arrows through. So Trinity, some great adaptations there, and just strong team fighting overall. I was going to say just kind of spacing themselves super well there, getting away from, I believe it was Ratnado on the Strange towards the back line there, the strategist. But yeah, I was going to say this dive didn't really feel like the dive there from Feng Chung. He got caught out in so many opportunities that he was trying to get on towards that back line, and props to Trinity, just the comms are flowing here, it would seem.
The comms are flowing, strategist keeps them protected. It's it's a rather good answer for them into the Daredevil here, and it'll be up to Na'Vi to try and mirror the success Trinity had on that, maybe with their own triple to start off with.
Yeah, we're gonna go a different triple way. I was gonna say we've got Ratnado gonna be on the Bucky, Squidblaze still on the Hawkeye, and Feng Chung now gonna be bringing it out the Moon Knight. So I kind of like the composition a little bit. It's a lot of upfront damage, right? You've got that Hawkeye putting pressure on with the arrows, but as well, we've got Bucky kind of tapping away. You've got Feng Chung as well with the Moon Knight kind of dishing out a lot of chip damage, getting that ultimate charged early. Trinity, they're not opting to change all too much. I was going to say they're not too phased about what's in front of them. They're just eyes on the prize here. They'll walk along the higher ground here because they'll know that Navi's trying to do something cheesy. It'll be Squid Blaze picking up a quick KO there.
There are a lot of heavy frontline damage there. Everything is up. He's trying to walk forward here, but it does not matter. Ratnado gets for Navi and responds in
and will be Brixity finding the KO onto Ratnado. Trinity now look to walk it up. I was going to say it started so well for Navi in terms of this initial engagement. And we'll see Brixity dishing out a ton of damage, keeping everybody healthy. Whoopers as well on towards the front line, just dashing, using the reset to let it loose here. Whoopers with a Quadra KO. And that will be Trinity Titans moving that mission vehicle forward. Almost to halfway already. Navi, it's panic on deck here because Trinity, they won the last map. They're looking good in this one. Navi, now they need to be careful. We'll see Squid Blaze once again. Hawkeye posted up on the higher ground here. We don't have a lot of presence towards the front line here. It's just Mitcho with this Jeff team up on the group. We'll see Trinity space themselves pretty well. Ben's already finding the KO on a Squid. They will dive onto Ratnado too, who's in the front line and soaking up so much damage for the moment. And we'll just see so much front-end presence from the Trinity Titans, and they will be able to pick it up. It's a 2-0 here and a 100-meter push there on Spider Island.
that they are now. Trinity has their second really strong map for them. Maybe this was not a ideal pick for Navi to take them to Spider Island, but it works out in the end with the nice MVP from Rufus once more.
Yeah, I was going to say, just showing flexibility, right? I was going to say, we saw the Emma from him in the first game on Domination, and then they took away his Emma. He's like, all right, I'm going to play Star-Lord. I'm just going to have a little fun with it. And I was going to say that last fight really capped it off there. MVP performance from Whippers, but overall the whole team really doing their best job. I was going to say Hedgian soaking up a lot of the damage with Endbends, and then Barixity finding a ton of KOs that Jeff really should be getting in some of those circumstances.
That its Jeff ult just can do numbers when not looked out for well, and there weren't too many answers left available from Na'Vi with Trinity clearing out things that they would normally use to fight that out in the ban phase.
Yeah, I was gonna say, props to Na'Vi, right? They identified a lot of the issues that was in that ban phase. Of course, they took away a lot of high prio picks, and then locked a few of their own prios there. I was gonna say Squid Blaze pulling out the Hawkeye. Wasn't expecting to see that. Didn't do too bad, but of course, maybe just wasn't Na'Vi's day. Trinity, super good performance out of them. And of course, I believe we will have more action around the bend. We're going to throw to a break, and we'll be back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more AEL High School Marvel Rivals for Term 4. Of course, I'm TwoTapTony, joined by my favorite mustache man once again, Smiles. And I was gonna say we had an interesting one there, a quick little 2-0 to get a taste of the high school meta at the moment.
Yeah, it's been seeing what the high school division. It's been interesting seeing what the high school division has to offer. They have a lot more different favorite characters than what I see in the Uni League, and it does make it a bit more exciting to watch because you kind of never know what you're going to walk into.
Yeah, a lot of different pocket picks. We saw Hawkeye at some stage. We saw as well a lot of prior towards the Moon Knight in that last one. But of course, we've got another game underway in just a little bit. It'll be CWL8 and their opponents, the NT Tassie Devils. So it should be an interesting one. I believe, we heard MC Tassie Devils. MC Tassie Devils. Sorry, apologies for that. But yeah, I believe we saw this game last term of all things. So it was an interesting one. I was gonna say a lot of familiar faces here for CWLA. I was gonna say Makuhuri really ran that one last time. But MC Tassie Devils and CWLA were into it. Burn into T'Challa. Domination once again. Smiles. It feels like we're at home.
MC Tassie Devils with the 6 Squirrel Girl hovers there. I think they have a really terrifying team comp for CWLA to walk into there, and I don't think there's an answer. They might just take it with that team comp alone.
It's the nuts, as some would say.
That they would. Starting with a early Penny ban, very interesting first ban, mirrored by a Magic ban from CWLA there. Banning out a lot of the meta dive and then protecting the BP in response, and then Daredevil. This could look to be a dive game from these teams.
Yeah, this definitely screams dive at the moment. Black Panther, a lock here for the side of CWLA. Star-Lord as well here from the MC Tassie Devils. Interesting to see Daredevil drawing a ban here from MC. I was going to say as well, Hela being taken away, so that kind of dive counter's gone. You don't have the Helena Moore. We'll see Bucky locked in here by the side of CWLA. So, McKillop, I was going to say there's a lot of different things they could go for here. Still a lot of picks up, I was going to say. But, taking away the Magic's probably a good thing. I was going to say McKillop like to play the Magic a little bit. So, Jeff going to be locked in. Kind of like that one for a dive. I was going to say, Smiles, you've already picked it out here. Just dive for both these teams seems to be the flavor.
With Daredevil taken out of the match as well as Penny, it's going to be a lot easier for them to run. Although the Monarchs seem to be setting up for a bit more of a balanced comp, running both the anti-dive Bucky with the dive BP based on their picks there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I believe I was going to say Maxto will be as well on the Strange. Nothing really crazy there. And we're getting taken away by the side of CWLA is the final ban, and we'll see now picks and bans gone and what the compositions are after. Pitted over on towards the Bucky, kind of love that one for CWLA. I was going to say, thinking about this roster from last term, pitted over, very good Bucky player as well, can play a lot of other different things. So I was going to say that Jeff as well is available. Makuhuri locking in the BP. McKillop, though, it's a little bit more well-rounded. I was going to say that Star-Lord lock-in will be for Cheesy. And I was going to say we'll as well see the Bucky from their side of things. So a Bucky mirror for this start off here on Domination.
Bucky mirror match, but running the Angela from the Monarchs there. This could be a very interesting bank lineup to start off with. Protecting the Bucky and not running the Bucky is an interesting choice. However, that is no quarrel for the Tassie Devils, as they have running the Bucky instead there. With the Venom Mag and Star-Lord lineup there, they could have quite a fair bit of control on to the Monarch backline, but they have Rocket, and this will be our first game today. The Rocket is the banned, so we're going to see him run. It'll be cool to see how Monarchs make use of that character this round coming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see some good placements of the BRB beacons. And I was gonna say, as we spoke about, Rocket being very meta at the moment, and I was gonna say very prior in terms of like seer placements, BRB beacons. It's a lot of small little micro things that you have to keep track of if you're the Rocket player. And we're already breaking under way here towards the top side of things, but Cheesy Danube already finding Makuhuri there on the dive. Squids are up, and so much front end damage here from McKillop.
With Yo-Yo there picking up a second pick onto the Vanguard for Monarchs, running solo Vanguard. They can't control much space. Oh, sorry. Running solo frontline. They can't control much space with only the Angela in the skies now. The Tassie Devils take use of this case and walk forward more and more. Looking for cleanup. They find a pick onto the rocket there and continue their walk forward towards the Monarch spawn, taking whoever they can.
That's a great staggered pick there. I was going to say catching off MND there towards the side of things, and well, now we'll see. McKillop once again refocus towards the point. Maxidon trying to get out here, but as you said, you know, a lot of these characters, the Daredevil and stuff like that, you know, they can get away. And especially Angela, I was going to say one of those characters can definitely get away, but McKillop has just been chasing them down here. We'll see Makuhuri back on the point to try and stall percentage, but of course everybody there from McKillop's just sitting waiting for him. Believes that we'll be able to trade out a quick KO there on towards the strategist, so McKillop needs to be a little bit more careful. They can't, I was going to say, poke a little bit too heavy here now.
No, they can't. It just lets that clock keep ticking for Tassie Devils. They need a strong regroup so they can go into this next fight as a full team. Yo-Yo finds another pick onto the solo frontline for Monarchs, making it very hard for them to walk forward again once more, and they have to play the waiting game for him to get back again.
We'll see Minichuk now back in the fray, keeping everybody topped up with the strategist. Portal's still available here for CWLA if they want to get on towards the point. M&T finding one on towards the Magneto here. Half Ghosty needs to be a little bit careful. We'll see Hornet Proteus come out from Chisanoob, trying to snipe there onto Cleaves, but topped up by the strategist here. CWLA can now look to make an approach because they're all healthy, and they've got a few ultimates to play with.
That they have, the Skrill Tsunami is out. It tries to find a kill on them more, but he manages to bubble away. The Venom going in on the enemy backline here, not letting them walk forward, not letting them heal them up, but he has to cycle out here as the fight continues to rage on. Cheesy picks up a kill on Cleaves, as well as the other duelist going down for Monarchs.
We'll see Jeff time there towards the point as well, pitted over, catching up Cheesy to Noob. He's just kind of keeping him captive. The rest of McKillop are just looking at it happen. Only a matter of time before the Jeff falls, and we'll see overtime tick here. Able to touch on towards the point, unnamed on towards the Strange will be taken away by Kagoli, and that will be McKillop. Tassie Devils taking that first point on Burn and T'Challa.
That they did. That was very well played by Tassie Devils, keeping the Doctor Strange alive until last so that the Monarchs weren't able to use his portal to get back for one extra fight there. I must say, it's sometimes hard to do that in the midst of the chaos of a team fight, but their organization paid off for them there handsomely.
Yeah, it was very good focus, and Tassie Devils looking good to start this one off. CWLA, it still feels like they're kind of floating around different priority picks here. I was going to say they do have the Strange but no magic, so Cleaves as well. Thinking about now the Venom this time around, so we'll see Makuhuri over towards the Namor. McKillop not really changing all too much here, and I was going to say they're not really getting a lot of value out of the BRB beacons at the moment here for CWLA.
Not yet. It's been pretty hard with the very well-crafted stagger fights from the Tassie Devils, not letting BRB even have time to get set up. And the Venom constantly diving in as well, pressuring him to retract it over and over again. They will get onto main here, starting the fight off. Looking to see any ultimates coming out here.
I was going to say, McKillop, we've got a few of them to play with, right? Magneto, Meteor M, we do have as well Kraken Impact available for Yo-Yo Beat. We'll try to cheese down there on the Cheesy to Noob, and then we'll be able to snipe it out. Great spear from Makuhuri. KO starts here, CWLA, but they're still a little bit staggered towards their approach. Snipe comes back there on towards Makuhuri. Needs to be a little bit careful. Minichuk, keeping everybody topped up at range. Half Ghostly as well, still being a menace here. Driving towards the backline, on towards the Namor. Swings back in, swings around here, and looking for McKillop. They are still able to hold their nerve for the moment. Cloak and Dagger ultimate coming out here. Eternal Bond into the Magneto. Meteor M here from Kawali, and we'll be able to snipe it out. That's why we don't see Cloak and Dagger ult too much, because the ultimate's very predictable. Great slam there. Yo-Yo B as well, finding Cleaves. CWLA are able to fight this fight back, though. They're able to find the KOs in their favor. Kraken Impact, great hook there from pitted over to pull away from the Jeff time. McKillop are now looking to maybe cap this point back.
However, the Hunchback picks up 2 KOs there off of the cliff face, not letting the momentum gain from Monarchs do them any favors, and instead they respond in time with Venom ultimate and resecure that point control, not letting Monarch get a single percentage.
Yeah, so unfortunate. I was gonna say just when you thought CWLA could like take that point back and really find themselves in a good form here. Cleaves moving towards the fight. Will be trying to use that Feast of the Abyss just for a little bit of burst damage there. Will be able to take Yo-Yo B out. Portal comes back through from Maxidon. They're looking for another on the half. Ghostly as well. She's the noob. He goes to the portal there. I was going to say a little bit unfortunate. Agamotto on towards the entire point here. But McKillop, they're holding strong for the moment.
They are down one Tassie Devils are down one strategist, but they are not letting that bother them. They're holding the point. They're letting that gonna tick up. However, Pitted picks up 3 KOs onto Tassie Devils there. Looks for the cleanup kill on the enemy Bucky, and Monarchs claim point control.
A beautiful triple KO there from Pitted over just when you need the Kraken impact to come through. MC Tassie Devils, though, they'll take 87%, right? Just a good staggered out fight. And, you know, keeping all of that percentage building. All the meanwhile, Makahuri will be able to find a quick KO there on Sahaf Ghostly. So MC Tassie Devils are a little bit staggered in their approach. They look a little bit scattered too. I was going to say the Bucky a little bit out of position. Now Kat Kawali trying to retake the space up here. We'll see the Seer come out from M&D. We'll see CWLA just kind of get a lot of these staggered KOs here and really control this point back.
The clock just keeps ticking away, and as they find more and more cheeky stagger picks, it's going to make it really hard for Tassie Devils to push out here. However, CLA have invested a lot of ultimates at this point in time, so Tassie are looking a bit more favorable in the ult trade in the upcoming fight. Looking to see another, hopefully, big Kraken impact from Tassie Devils this time around.
Yo-Yo got that one charged up, ready to go. Pitted over already, though. Hornet Proteus here from Akuhuri, sniping down everybody, keeping them staggered, keeping them stunned. We'll see as well the Kraken impact out of Pitted over. MC Tassie Devils have already lost 2 in the process. They'll look to walk it up with the Eternal Bond. Cheesy the noob, very tanky on top of that one here. Pitted over, trying to get back towards the point, trying to get back towards their team. Now McKillop will look to walk it out here. Quick KO there. Agamotto there onto a high priority target, but the free bubble coming out from Katkawali, keeping them up. Jeff Time will spit off a few. Magneto, Meteor M fires off from Katkawali, and McKillop will take the point back.
That they do, but the Monarchs have time to get a portal of this time, and with Tassie Devils just only getting point control, it's going to be hard for them to interrupt that. They have one more fight here. It'll be up to them to play this very, very well. And they don't get the touch. Unfortunate.
Yeah, they don't get the touch. I believe Maxidon swapped out to Cap to try and get back towards the point. Maybe didn't have the portal up. Used it in a previous engagement. Maybe the time just wasn't there for them. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. MC Tassie Devils, they'll take it. 2-0 there on Burn into Charla and Hunchback Bird. We did
very well played map by Tassie Devils there.
Yeah.
With the big Jeff ultimates from Hunchback. He played very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Those were some very impactful ultimates. And, well, for MC Tassie Devils, it felt like all the fights were won off of some of those ults alone. But, you know, some of the spacing, I was going to say the prio from MC Tassie Devils towards keeping their backline safe was super, super good to see. And as well, Yo-Yo B just not afraid to step up there with a Bucky. That's what you want out of your Bucky player, right? Just fearless aggression on towards the enemies. And, well, for CWLA, not a bad start. I was going to say a lot of small little micro things, and they probably could have been the ones to take it 2-0 here.
They could have as well. They had really strong Kraken impacts from Pitted, and it was just a battle, I guess, of the hooks in the neutral as well as the Jeff ultimates, which their escorts for the Jeff ultimates to the cliff face were quite unbreakable, not letting anyone take out that Jeff a second too early.
Yeah, slippery Jeff. I was going to say M&D, we didn't get to see, as we said, you know, too much of the Seers, the beacons. So maybe, you know, CWLA will workshop that going into the next map. But for McKillop, I was going to say not really a lot has to change, right? Maybe, I guess, keep what they're banning, you know, take away the penny, you know, the anti-dive there. For CWLA, maybe we see them focus towards the Vanguards. I was going to say Kat Kawali was very menacingly, on the Magneto. I was going to say just a little bit of an unsung hero there from McKillop. You know, we spoke about Hunchback doing well, Yo-Yo B, Cheesy the Noob, rocking the duels roll well, but Kat Kawali, I was going to say, great time bubbles, great Meteor. I was going to say just maybe prioritize the Vanguard bans here for CWLA.
it could be a good call, especially considering the Magneto did score a pretty impressive dunk onto the Cloak and Dagger, not letting them have that Strategist ultimate online. It'd be interesting to see if they let the Rocket through this time around as well. Although it didn't seem too problematic, and so they might just continue banning out the Hella Namor team up instead.
Yeah, I was gonna say for as well the focus towards the Black Panther. Akahiri worked out very quickly. That wasn't really gonna work. McKellop were like kind of all over it, ready to counteract that dive. And I was gonna say I didn't mind the Emma ban from them. I was gonna say McKellop probably one of those teams that can definitely play the Emma. Yeah, there's a lot of. I was gonna say there's still a lot to unpack just with the bans and picks alone, right? I was gonna say the Magic Prio taken away from McKillop. Maybe we see that one kind of slip through and MC Tassie Devils get to rock with that one for a map. A lot of questions right now, Smiles, I was going to say.
Monarchs might not even need to save them or go for a Jeff ban next round if they take us to a map without a cliff for the Jeff defined value on. And it would be up to Tassie Devils to pivot to a storm based comp if they want to keep the It's Jeff ultimate creating value.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's interesting as well. Like looking at the juxtaposition, right? MRC, MRI. And I was gonna say the uni leagues and now the high school leagues. There's a lot of different prioritizations, and I was gonna say Jeff's been a very strong pick here in the high school. Like he's a very slippery target. It's hard to hit, and if you're not hitting your shots, you're not on form. Then a team can really abuse that Jeff pick, and we saw it there from McKillop in that one.
Yeah, and it will the picks this time around though, they didn't end up using the Star-Lord which they had saved, so I would like to see possibly some more of that, especially in combination with the Magneto, as that the Star-Lord spin in combination with the bubble lets him build his ultimate insanely fast, and they'd let the Magneto through as well, so they were kind of set up for a very solid Magneto Star-Lord comp as well.
Yeah, it feels like a protect the puppy in a way. I was going to say Star-Lord's a very fragile character. If you're trying to build up that ult charge on top of an entire team, you're spinning, you're like, please, Mag, save me. Strange, maybe, please, somebody just keep me alive so I can get my ult charge quickly, and then I can go crazy with the Galactic Legend. So, yeah, I was going to say maybe we see prioritization there towards Star-Lord even. I was going to say we didn't get to see it all too much there out of MC. Maybe just, they had it in their back pocket for a rainy day if they needed it. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to be seeing Spider Island once again, so a lot of mimicking of the maps here from our first game to this one.
And might even run into some more goats today and see if these teams are able to crack it open or even run it. As again, it is a really difficult set of space to control, and if it's controlled well, it's a really set of difficult space to take away from them. So it'll be up to a very, very important pick ban phase that'll determine whether or not that will be happening.
Yeah, and of course we'll get into it now. I was going to say Spider Island. Convoy, first to push the mission vehicle to all three, and then, of course, to defend all three against their opponent. We didn't get to see all too much of Spider Island. I was going to say we only really got to the stairs at that first point, and then Spider Island was over. So hopefully we get to see a little bit more out of both of these two teams. Of course, still the Squirrel Hover here for the Tassie Devils. We'll see Magic once again. First bans, very mimicked to what we saw from the last one.
Yeah, I guess both teams are feeling comfortable in what bans they had last time. With the full keeping the iconic 6 Squirrel Girl hover, it'll be interesting to see if they actually use it on Spider Islands, as it's a bit of a stronger map for her, whereas that last one wasn't. Monarchs getting a Venom ban, not letting the Feast of the Abyss terrorize their backline anymore. Rather strong choice from them.
Yeah, I have to respect it. I was going to say Half Ghostly, very strong frontline presence there with the Feast of the Abyss. I was going to say as well, just the ability to swing in and out of fights and really control a lot of space there for MC Tassie Devils. We'll see Bucky ban here from MC, though. Very interesting one to take away. I was going to say the Bucky from CWLA was probably the shining beacon out of that last game.
Yeah, the Bucky was what was causing a lot of issues, so it's interesting to see him be banned instead of Protect this time. But they have gone for a double strategist Protect this round, as well as a Namor Protect, leaving the Hella Namor team up open to them, which could be very dangerous for Monarchs if they let that go through.
Yeah, it's going to be dangerous considering as well they're thinking about playing the Iron Man, so, Hella Namor probably really heavily counteracts that Iron Man, so yeah, Hella's going to be taken away. Smart call there from CWLA, the final ban, realizing, we can't let Namor Hella be played if we're going to be playing into the Iron Man. we'll see Daredevil taken out away from our final man here from MC Tassie Devils. Feels weird to say that, right? You know, CWLA, one of those teams that can play Daredevil, and MC Tassie Devils. It's in the name, Daredevil.
Yeah,
It feels fitting for them.
It feels a little ironic considering their team name there, but I guess it just answers. He can just answer so many characters that it probably limits what comps that they can run. So I do understand the want to get rid of it, especially with characters like Sue Storm and Psylocke are not banned. That he can just see them while they're invisible. Not much counterplay into that.
Yeah, not a lot of counterplay. We'll be seeing as well the Lunar, I guess, available this time for CWLA. I'll bring that one into the mix. I was going to say, Pitted Over, I forgot about his Iron Man. I realized he's a Lord, you know. Pitted Over, I don't think it got to play Iron Man a whole lot last term. I was going to say his team kind of really forced him onto the Bucky a little bit more, but, you know, getting the Iron Man prior coming through here. We'll see. In that C, though. Philip College,
It's a very hit scan focused meta last season. I can see why they'd be less confident to run it, but they've taken Hela, the strongest hit scan, out of the hero pool with their bans, so the Iron Man can control the skies a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely going to be able to rule over, but still Star-Lord in play, so Cheesy the Noob's probably going to be on Iron Man duty, though. Pitted Over, already taking out Yo-Yo B, so quick start here for CWLA, though Cleaves is a little bit too deep. They will be able to trade it, though. They find Cheesy the Noob as well. BRB Beacon gets that value now for CWLA, and they're winning out this fight early on.
That they are. Makiri picks a pick onto their Cloak and Dagger, leaving them down one support, letting the Monarchs walk forward further and further, pushing them all the way back just to the end of the point there. They find another pick onto the Jeff.
Finding some great KOs here. CWLA still Pitted Over, ruling over the skies, finding half Ghostly there, on towards the Luna this time. Easy to Noob getting tagged up, taken low. The health pack stolen away by Makuhiri. Police will be able to find Cat Coley. So once again, CWLA just staggering out these picks right now. Looking for a little bit more. They will try to find Yo-Yo B. A little bit of an awkward position. Change up here. Cat Coley going to be over towards the Emma Frost. CWLA, they just tapped that first point for free, and now they've got 5 minutes here to push the mission vehicle.
That they do. That is a very, very strong first fight from them, letting them get all that space, and just now they have built up a lot of momentum, coming up on a few ultimates here. And the Tassie Devils, MC are working their best to set up a strong defense for them to break through.
And Jeff time coming out from Hunchback Bird, though, will be able to swallow up 2 crucial targets, takes Pitted Over in the belly, and will go off of the map for the environmental KO onto M&D. So that's some crucial targets taken away by CWLA. That staggers out the clock a little bit. You can see the rest of MC now playing towards the front side of things. Hornet Proteus flies through. Yo-Yo B gets taken out, steps up a little bit too far. Hunchback Bird now back in the mix, but of course a long way to go here. Cleaves though, it's run down though. Cat Coley able to find that one, but trade back by Makuhiri. CWLA will be able to continue their push.
CWLA having a very strong push here, very clean 2 fights into the game so far, and now they have almost every single one of their ultimates ready for this next fight coming up here. It'll be up to them to not spend them all at once or all too quickly, but it will. They have a rather good set of momentum, and they might be able to cap third with a lot of time in the bank still.
We'll see another Hornet Proteus out from Makuhiri there, deep on towards the backline where Cleave is. Throwing haymakers here. Will be popping the Freedom Charge just to get a little bit more out. The Psionic Seduction towards the front side of things. A 2-pronged approach here from CWLA, and they will clean up some quick KOs. Meteor M out here from Cheesy the Noob as he swaps up to the Magneto, and he will be able to find the Slam. M&D falls. Fate of Both Worlds from CWLA will be able to stabilize in another 5 minutes on the clock to push, and they will find some more staggered KOs.
Two cleanup kills there, a third cleanup onto their Namor. That lets them walk forward for free once again at the start of the 3rd point, just letting that clock not go to waste at all. They're going to have a lot of time and get the payload to at least halfway through the point before a proper defense can start.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's MC Tassie Devils really swapping up a lot of different picks, right? We saw Cheesy the Noob on the mag for a bit, and now he's over towards the Storm, and They're going to be bringing the Groot into play with the Storm, so crucial isolation target focus here now for MC. And we'll see another Horn of Proteus coming out from Yo-Yo B. Will stun up towards the front of the mission vehicle. Easy to Noob able to take one out, dishing out a lot of damage now on the Storm. Maybe MC have found something that works for them.
That they have. They're keeping the space under control, marking the Namor on the top left. They find the KO onto him, with Cat finding another KO onto the front line for CWA. And they managed to reclaim car control.
Look at the mission vehicle for the moment. Mastodon though, taking out half Ghostly, walking up a little bit too deep, and that's of course the only Vanguard here for MC. Cat Coley's a little bit further back for the moment. And that is a big cannon there from Pitted Over. The Iron Man taking over. That's a Pensa KO from Pitted Over. Maybe looking to find the... It will be taken away. Mako here, we will find it. But Pitted Over, great Pensa. CWA, great push.
An extremely clean offense from CWA here, not letting their momentum stop at any point and finishing the round off with 3 minutes in the bank. That will be really hard to deal with when it comes to possible round 3 and round 4 from the teams here.
Yeah, this is worrying sight now. MC, they might have let something that they weren't expecting to be brought to the table here for CWA through, and it's running amok. It's Pitted Over on this Iron Man that's been really controlling the pace of some of these pushes, right? Just getting out a lot of chip damage we're seeing as well. Akuhiri clean up with cleaves in some of those dive attempts, and they kill it now. They need to stabilize. We'll see a different strategist. We'll see Rocket now here for Mini Chook. CWA, really, they don't have to change up all too much.
They do not. The Iron Man was doing wonders for them that round. It'll be up to MC to see if they want to bring out a couple more hit scan characters to try and offer an answer to his dominance in the skies. But so far they're opting for something a bit different. Possibly going to take out the CWLA tanks over the Iron Man here.
Yeah, we'll see. As time will tick down. MC, they're going to have to put on a good show on their attack side because CWA have all 3 minutes left up. It's MC's turn to see what they can do. Cleaves and a little bit of damage there from Yo-Yo B, just kind of soaking it up for the moment. They will be able to snipe out. Trade 1-for-1 there on the picks. And CWA, though, the fact that they've got the cap a little bit loose and harder to take out, and onto Mini Chook here, just harassing these strategists, taking out the BRB beacon. Leaves a little bit low, 96 points, and almost finding the KO there. Will be picked up by Cheesy the Noob, and they'll trade 1-for-1 once again.
And the MC here have started taking picks, although Pitted is brought back with the BRB beacon. However, Cat just cleans up their rocket, and now the MC Tassie Devils keep working their way forward.
And they've spotted Pitted Over here in this alleyway. We'll be able to take him out. So no stall attempt there from CWA. They'll continue to push up here for MC. Cleaves spotted out, taken low there on the cap. And I was going to say, just the fact that half Ghostly's brought the Groot out to play. A Horror Proteus there, and then just walling them off. They just can't stop this mission vehicle from pushing. MC, this is a daunting presence that they're now bringing to the table.
That they are. Good control of that choke there lets them walk all the way to the very end, but CWA manages to get the cap onto point. It is not enough.
Oh.
MC managed to capture the mission vehicle.
And Cheesy the Noob is not stopping right now, finding pick after pick here. Mastodon will be low. Hurricane up as well for Cheesy the Noob, so a little bit of a playmaking tool available here for the side of MC. Over. He's able to trade out a quick KO, but he's the only one left here. The CWA might have to get out quickly. MC, well, a little bit less convincing than CWA, but it still feels like a mirrored push from both sides.
That it does. Both having very strong offenses. 4 minutes in the bank is nothing to be ashamed of. That's very well done by MC here. It'll be up to them to take this next fight with their ultimates played well. Yo-Yo finds an early pick onto the rocket, forcing out the Lunar Snow ultimate.
We'll see Fate of Both Worlds here from our name, and we'll see CWLA control the mission vehicle for the moment. Sonic Seduction out of Maxodon here with the Pulse Cannon. from Pitted Over. Not as crucial as, not as explosive as this time, but a Mega Hurricane coming through here from Cheesy the Noob, trying to pull them all in, and that's both strategists gone. That's Makuhiri falling to Pitted Over, a little bit low, but still healthy, still able to control the skies. Mastodon taken out, and that's a Quadra from Cheesy the Noob. Now they need to find Pitted Over, still ruling up above here. Cleaves will pop the Freedom Charge, and CWLA, they're still able to control this mission vehicle for the moment.
That they are half ghostly, not letting the Captain America take control and push it further forward. So instead, they continue taking this fight. That Omega Hurricane doing wonders for the team here and making it really hard for CWA to undo that devastation it caused.
And it feels like they're still reeling from it right now. Cleaves trying to get on this mission vehicle, stop it for the moment. Mastodon as well, taking up a ton of punishment. C is going to be placed here from MND. They do leave Cheesy the Noob in the process. Do have the Horn of Proteus as well as the Strangling Prison from Ask Ghostly, and there it is. They're trying to pull them down, but that Seer is keeping everybody healthy. Magneto, Meteor M for the slam, but it only does damage. It doesn't find the crucial KO. CWA are now controlling this mission vehicle, and you can see how spaced out they are. Maximum's chasing down on towards the back line while Pitted Over controls the front.
OUB does manage to find a pick onto the Emma there. They can possibly spin this fight around. Pitted Over trying to take out their rocket on cart, stalling. He manages to find him with Makuri finding a pick onto Yo-Yo once more, and CWA have gained control of the cart and the map once more.
And continuing to find staggered KOs here. You can see they need to lock in Cat Coley, taking a ton of punishment there from the beam of Pitted Over, just softening up for Makuhiri to find that one. They will be able to find the Jeff as well. Pitted Over, this is what happens when you let him run the Iron Man. He's just taking them to town. It's going to be a triple quadra with the help of Makuhiri. MC, they're sent packing once again towards their spawn region. Now time starts to look a little bit worrisome for them.
That it does. MC has let that 4-minute clock go down to 2 minutes, which is quite good for them considering if they make it to third, they will not have anywhere near as much time as CWA. Horn of Proteus, it doesn't manage to find anyone. Our name manages to find a pick onto their front line with Cheesy doing likewise for their team.
Mega Hurricane going to be coming out here from Cheesy, going to be pulling them in, but of course Fate of both worlds. Jeff NATO coming through here from MC. They'll sweep through the cart, they'll take out Maxodon, they'll take out MNT. Our name is able to live, but now Fate of both worlds is down and Cheesy the Noob is hunting for it. Mission vehicle pushed, and now we'll see Freedom Charge though from Cleaves. We'll see Pitted Over again with the Pulse Cannon, taking out 2 crucial KOs here, and MC are getting staggered out once again. It's Pitted Over, and Cleaves just kind of running amok here onto MC. It's a quad out of Pitted Over and looking for a little bit more Penta. Follow up here, potential for the Hexer if he's able to find the squirrel.
And now it's just chasing down that rocket and not letting him live, but he manages to get out of there safely. He's currently got See You Later up. It'll be up to possibly that ultimate to turn the tide for MC Devils here.
You see as well. The thing ultimate there. Started off, but I was going to say greatly answered. See it come out from Mini Shook, and now we'll see actually MC walking it up, Strangling Prison onto our name. We'll be able to find some picks towards the back line. Half Ghostly too. Getting punishment from Yo-Yo B. The Horn of Proteus came out there from CWA, but doesn't quite find its mark. Now Pitted Over doesn't have all of the freedom of space to work with, and we'll actually see a cap here from MC. Angela pulled out by Maxodon to try and stall the cap. The minute 30, MC are thanking their lucky stars it happened.
That they are. They do get the mission vehicle 2.3, and now it'll be the last leg of the map to see how well CWA can hold this.
These Groot walls, I tell you what, a little bit of a hard thing to walk against CWA. They will be able to pull them out for the moment.
Mega Hurricane looking for the Sharknado once more. Maxodon finds 2 picks into the void on the side, but Cheezydon answers in kind to him there, and they force out the Lunar Snow ultimate.
Yeah, I was going to say, it felt like the Lunar Snow just a little bit too late to the party though. I was going to say everybody from CWA fell towards that Hurricane. We'll see our name. Able to snipe out Cheesy the Noob. I was going to say maybe the Lunar's what you need to deal with the Storm right now, because TWA, they were controlling the skies a ton here with an Iron Man, but I was going to say still Cheesy the Noob's finding value. We'll see the grab there from the Angela. Both teams bringing out the Angela now towards this final push. In about 20-something seconds. MC, they need to stay on this mission vehicle and need to hold these fights well.
They cannot leave, but with Angela in play now, Pitted Over has a lot harder time controlling the skies. Cheesy the Noob does find a pick onto the Namor with Freedom Charge coming out from CWA here. Is it enough to get them onto the point?
So good question. Is it enough? Order Proteus coming out. Nobody's looking at Pitted Over right now. Wolf charge the Pulse Cannon and bang! 4-2 with the Heavens. Retribution from Mastodon. And they will pin these targets down. It's the Order Proteus for good measure from Makuhiri. Cheesy the Noob back on towards the mission vehicle, but not for long. Hunchback 2 trying to touch this card, but it's not happening. CWLA will be able to take home Spider Island.
That they are. A very, very good pivot from CWLA with their comp and ban strategy, letting them take a map from MC here, and a very, very strong offense from them, I must say.
Yeah, it's to credit Pitted Over, right? 50 KOs. They're only falling 9 times. That's what you want out of your duelist player. Pitted Over ruling the skies. I was going to say, just when you thought MC might have found the answer with the Storm, it was still Pitted Over, finding Pulse Cannon pick after Pulse Cannon pick. It's multi-picks there in that ultimate. And I was going to say CWLA as well, Cleaves as well. Have to give credit with the captain, right? Just charging away on towards that MC backline. And so many stalls on the push there from MC came down to CWLA rocking with Captain America, rocking with Pitted Over. Those two were just able to stall so much time away from MC, and that's why they were able to bring that one across the line in the final hurdle.
That they were. They were doing it. I highly doubt that that MC will let the Iron Man through again, as that was their win condition for CWLA. Then letting them take fight after fight with big pulse cannon after big pulse cannon.
Yeah, the pulse guns were good, and I was going to say we need to see McKillop really kind of prioritize towards that pick. I was going to say maybe ban it out for this next one, because yeah, you're letting Pitted Over run that Iron Man. He's going to do what he did in that one. For CWLA, I was going to say, what do we see them really kind of focus towards? I was going to say Namor's been a hotly contested pick between both of these teams, so maybe they put presence towards that one. But of course, as well, I was going to say props to them identifying that the Venom was an issue, and they took away that one very, very swiftly.
It was a very good call from them, and the Namor was serving them very good value. Amidst quite chaotic team fights, Makuri managed to find a cheeky KO here or there and not let it be a steamroll for McKillop there, answering in time and keeping the fights going, bringing it down to a much more even playing field.
Yeah, and we've seen the Daredevil ban from the side of McKillop. Do we think that one's a prior going in towards this last one here? Because I was going to say CWLA haven't really been showing us that they want to play the dive all too much. We've seen 1 or 2 floated picks here. That Black Panther came through from Domination, didn't really have its effects. So, McKillop, they're going to be sitting pretty. I was going to say they've got a lot of picks at their disposal that they can bring towards this last one.
That they can. They might manage to pivot the Daredevil ban out for the Iron Man, as again that was, I think, the map-defining character for that map right there, and it will have to be answered at least in some capacity by McKillop.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say maybe we move back towards Bucky. I was going to say Bucky was one that got taken away there in the picks and bans in that second map, but we're going to Wakanda for our third one here, so it should be an interesting one. Of course, we get to see the best of both worlds, right? Domination and Convoy into one here with Convergence for our final map. And I feel like Convergence really tests a team mettle, right? We see Domination very snowbally. Sometimes Convoy, as we saw, both teams very good at the attack, but not so much the defense. Convergence tests both of those aspects and tests your ability to adapt on the fly as well.
That it does. McKillop starting off with their Squirrel Girl hovers again, and we see the magic ban once more. She seems to have a quite strong place in the meta. I can understand as to why they would want to get rid of that one.
Yeah, very smart one being taken away. Magic once again taken. And, well, we'll see McKillop identify what we said was the problem. Definitely the Iron Man from Pitted Over, no longer going to be in play for this one, and they're going to be locking in the Venom. Great identifiers there. I was going to say, just kind of maybe taking a page out of what we were saying, right? Maybe take away the Iron Man. Maybe we need to see the Venom a little bit more here from the side of McKillop and CWLA. They will be locking in the Penny, though, because McKillop let that one through this time around.
That they have. It's a very, very strong ban for, sorry, very, very strong save for their team, letting them run it. And although the Venom ban will, the Venom save will also make things rather interesting, as Venom into Penny can be a pretty even matchup at times.
Yeah, it's all about how good your tracking is, right? I was going to say, diving on towards a Penny, not ideal, but I was going to say sometimes it works, especially if you're a Venom, and especially if you've got the Jeff to help you out here for the side of McKillop. We'll see something as well we wanted to see maybe a little bit more prior towards is the Namor getting taken away here by CWLA. We'll be seeing the Luna lock in here. I was going to say they really used that one well. Our name was, at times, I was going to say the Fate of Both Worlds was maybe a little bit too late, a little bit too early, but it still really had its effect there in some of those fights from CWLA.
Our name had some pretty critical claps, managing to find a KO onto the backline for Team McKillop, so the Luna Protect might do them quite favorably.
We'll see as well. Hella taken away. Captain America, final ban here from the side of McKillop. Respectable, right? Cleaves was running amok there on Spire Island. It felt like the Cleaves show in some of those stalls that the side of CWLA were able to pull off. But there's a lot of different picks available. I was going to say the Black Panther kind of slipping through here. We'll see maybe Moon Knight. Ooh, or not, Wolverine. With the Hulk team up. Something we haven't seen from CWLA in quite a bit.
Yeah, the Fastball Special might be their secret weapon to managing to clear out MC on this map. They are running the Daredevil, so maybe the Daredevil ban might have been one thing. It's a completely different set of picks and bans this map, so the comp this time around is going to be completely different.
Yeah, it's like, one or two things sprinkled in that we're familiar with, right? Half Ghostly going to be on the Venom, Mini Chook back towards the Cloak and Dagger, but, there's a lot of different things in the picture this time around. Makuhuri, Black Panther, Cleave's going to be with the Penny. We'll see the team up there with Rocket. And CWLA, I was going to say, their comp feels like it's a little bit more catered towards the defense, but MC are going to be rocking with the Daredevil Venom, so we'll see a lot of dive potentially here from McKillop if they're able to find a crucial KO to start.
That we will. The Penny, though, letting them control that frontline space quite strongly. Although they have decided, CWLA have decided to decide to mirror the Penny for offense, and they are taking a side angle with that one.
We're going to be seeing Fastball Special here. And there is Wolverine pop onto Half Ghostly. Needs to walk out, needs to swing away for good measure. Foley will be controlling frontline for the moment with those Penny traps, with those webs. CWLA, they are still able to find that pick though. Makuhuri picking up Yo-Yo Beast, so that's a crucial target taken away for the side of McKillop.
That it is Fastball Special once more, letting the Wolverine take Cat off of the edge there, not letting CWLA have much frontline control left at all anymore, and MC starts to take space.
That was an interesting thing to note as well. I believe the rocket boost there on Pitted Over to really secure that kidnap off of the point. So we'll now see CWLA, though, they're not in the healthiest of states right now. I was going to say MC just kind of allowing their strategists to keep them topped up and walk back in towards the fray here. We'll see Half Ghostly on towards the Luna. The collapse are coming out here from our name, but still, Half Ghostly on top of this backline is being a menace. The rest of MC controlling the point from the front. I was going to say a little bit too far forward, but Half Ghostly is able to get topped up there by the Jeff. We'll see Cat Coley as well take out Cleaves.
It was a very strong beginning offense for CWLA, but MC manages to turn things around and secure the point, not letting that early pick onto their Penny get the best of them.
Now, let Yo-Yo be run amok with this Daredevil, of course. Half charge towards letting the Devil out. Half Ghostly getting stunned up there. Makuhiri finding that one, so CWLA starting off with another crucial pick here. We'll see Choose You to Noob with the Jeff time. Swallow up our name. Makuhiri still doing absolute work towards his backline. It's another dash there. Our name keeping everybody healthy. I was going to say getting off of the point. It's getting spit off here, but we'll see. Spider Sweep now coming through here from Cat Coley. Take it out quickly, though, by CWLA.
And CWLA managed to clean up this fight with Pitted Over, finding another pick onto the Jeff there. Half Ghostly taking out the Rocket in response, and the Cleaves Penny Nest managing to get a KO as well.
Penny Trap getting value here. Mastodon taking out Hunchback Bird, trying to stall this point from being capped, but CWLA, they're now looking to walk it up here. We'll see Unnamed snipe on towards Mini Chook. They will exile Half Ghostly for the moment. We'll be able to walk back, but in the meantime, CWLA, they actually cap the point. They've got 3 minutes now to push it the full way. They will be able to find a great dive here with Mastodon on the hull, trying to find Jeff with the fastball special pitted over. Now looking for a little bit more punishment here. We'll see CWLA continue to push this mission vehicle.
That they will, looking for a deep fastball special. He manages to find the Magneto, but it is not enough with the rest of his team there helping him stay alive through that one. The MC does move back though, pressured out a little bit by that Wolverine.
Getting pressured out there. It's some good, I was going to say Vanguard shred here from the side of CWLA. You've got Makuhiri sneaking around the back line once again. Feast of the Abyss coming out from Half Ghostly, trying to find a crucial pick, but once again, Pitted Over's all over it here. You can see the control from CWLA is also, of course, keeping their strategists healthy, keeping them safe. We'll see them walk up now here with the fate of both worlds from Unnamed.
That they are. They continue walking forward, protecting that fastball special, letting them go really, really far, and they manage to find a pin onto the Magneto, but it does not matter. The BP ultimate going off, and Cleaves finds 2 KOs with their Penny Mines. Pitted Over getting a cleanup KO onto the Magneto.
Yeah, I was going to say, staggering out these KOs at that final mark here. Fastball special and a little bit too far forward, but it works. Hunchback Bird now needs to run away. And we'll see Jeff time once again. Swallows up Unnamed. Heat Seeking. Cheesy the Noob's had enough of this Lunar Snow. We'll be able to spit them off. The environmental KO Pitted Over as well fell in the backside of the picture. We'll see Yo-Yo B now on towards the Moon Knight here to try and control this choke point.
That they are. The McKillop have regained a lot of cart control here, despite the Spider Sweep ultimate going off from Cleaves.
I was gonna say, staggered out there. Cleaves taking a Cheesy to Noob, and for once, I was gonna say in this push, I was gonna see, we're gonna see MC able to stabilize here. McKillop able to hold towards the stair line here, and maybe looking to stagger out these KOs themselves. They're very far forward, and they're not scared of CWLA right now.
They do force an ultimate from CWLA as well, and force starting the fight really, really early. They take out the Hulk, putting him into Bruce Banner mode, and Cleaves finds a pick onto Half Ghostly, with Yo-Yo B controlling the top right high ground.
And nobody's, I was going to say maybe equipped to deal with this for the moment. As I say that, no. Forced off of the high ground. We'll see Eternal Bond out of Mini Chook, trying to keep everybody healthy, but Pitted Over has taken captive of the Magneto. We'll be able to take them away. Yo-Yo B able to trade out there onto Makuhiri, so I was going to say, DWA, it was a good push, and it's continued to look good for them, but still, the Kelp are finding these crucial KOs, these staggered ones out. They're able to find a great last stand there from Pitted Over, but the fate of both worlds keeps them up. Magneto, Meteor M here, McKillop are controlling the point, and once again here, CWA just can't seem to find any room right now.
That they cannot. They're playing on the bottom. Half Ghostly finding a pick on their Duelist, and Yo-Yo B as well onto Cleaves. It is going to be a really tough fight for them here. They don't have any ultimates coming up, and the McKillop is looking for cleanup kills to try and secure this one out.
They're looking for the rest of the members stagger out the Hulk, getting them off of the mission vehicle. Overtime will tick, and the portal doesn't come in quick enough from Pitted Over. It will be only one cap and 88 meters here for CWA. So props to McKillop. That looks so dominant from CWA, right? So many of those initial fights before they even took the point were their KOs starting off that fight. But McKillop, they finally found what works with them, holding that choke, playing the Moon Knight. And I was going to say, props to the strategists as well, keeping themselves healthy and keeping themselves away from harm.
It was very well done by McKillop there. They found their answer to the BP and didn't let him tear them apart anymore when they started working in turn. It'll be interesting to see how they manage to employ that this coming round as they are on the offense now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Do we see McKillop change a few things up, right? Because I was going to say the comp works for defense, right? You've got your front line with your Venom Mag, but then you've got the Moon Knight as well, control those chokes. CWA, though, they're not changing up anything themselves. They're going to be just rocking with what they know. Fastball special, not this time around. It's going to be pitted over Moon Knight. Makuhiri does have the Gamma team up there with Hulk. Well, I was going to say, not a team up we see all too often. I was going to say it's kind of fallen out of favor a little bit.
It has a bit, but it can find value here and there, and they might be able to find value with it today. CWA pivoting off of the Wolverine to mirror the Moon Knight and just fight over the choke point control in the mirrored Moon Knight matchup. 2 early picks from Cleaves, making this immediately into a 4v6. CWA needs to move quick to try and take value for this.
That's the ranked penny cheese. I was going to say I wasn't expecting that coming out from CWA, but that's a great way to kick it off. 2 quick KOs to their board. Now means MC are staggered on this approach. McKillop really can't find a footing. Ghostly making up a ton of damage, but of course does have the Jeff to keep them healthy. Makuhiri, though, he's looking to put a stop to that. He's flying through the back line. Misses a little bit of a mechanical error, but I was going to say he's able to get out. And, for the safety of his team, hit it over in the meantime, though, able to help him out. There's just some damage out. They will find Cat Coley.
That they do. They have the Moon Knight ultimate coming up here. A very early one, mirrored by Yo-Yo B. He manages to find Pitted Over, but Pitted Over answers in kind. And it's 3 KOs. It's a very messy fight going on here. Sia coming out from MND there, and the fight takes its place on point now.
Yeah, it was a bit of a scattered one, right? Trading Moon Knight ult for Moon Knight ult, and then everybody's like, alright, we're still going to walk to the point anyway. It doesn't really matter that you've traded 1 for 1. Makuhiri able to even that one up with the rest of the team. Great Sia there. Heads up play from MND. Now we'll see 2 minutes 30 left on the clock here for McKillop. Still, plenty of time, but of course CWA, they're looking to stall it out. We'll see Spider Sweep come through here. Cat Coley swapping up for the MF Frost, and it doesn't really have its mark. Yo-Yo B now getting chased down by Cleaves, and this is a thing of brilliance you like to see from CWA. That's how dominant their hold is at the moment. Half Ghostly now was a strategist on the back of the point, but it doesn't matter. Pitted Over's there to help them out, and CWA control the space once again.
Pitted Over's pivot onto the Moon Knight. He's looking really, really strong at the moment. This seems to be the answer that CWA was looking for in response to how MC was playing earlier, and working well for them.
Makuhiri. We spoke about the Black Panther not really having its effects there on domination, but it seems to be at home here on Wakanda. And I was going to say Pitted Over as well, picking up another crucial for CWLA. You feel like Half Ghostly's just trying to make something work right now. So many times he's been on this point by himself and just trying to make something of a bad situation. Makuhiri will be able to take him out. Psionic Seduction coming through here from Cat Coley. It's not really seducing up anyone. We'll see as well the Moon Knight ultimate. We'll see everything pops here from McKillop, and they're able to find some crucial KOs. They will try to split Cleaves off of the point. Fast descent in the background here. Makuhiri chasing down Mini Chook, and that's another KO, and that makes it even Stevens here. CWA, they still are able to hold it.
That they are quite the ult domino, but they don't let that get the best of them, and they manage to retain control. But MC are on the point now, trying to get some percentage. They have scored 1 tick, but the CWA recovers, and they find 2 picks in turn.
It's beautiful to see. I was going to say Makuhiri just taking extremely low and still able to find some crucial KOs. Now 30 seconds left for McKillop to walk up here, and they need to stabilize. Can't be getting staggered out right now. Cheesy the Noob trying to walk up. Makuhiri finds Mini Chook. That's not what you want to see from McKillop right now. It feels like it's set in stone. CWA still holding this choke. I was going to say only about 33% capped here from the side of McKillop, and they're trying to get on.
They managed to find the portal onto point, but CWA opens up with the CF in response, and they managed to find 4 KOs really, really early. That's quite unfortunate for McKillop.
It's quite unfortunate. Portal's gone, and so is all the time. It will be CWLA holding off McKillop in that one, and props to them. They showed some strong adaptation after we saw McKillop come swinging into this series. CWLA, though, will be able to pick it up here, and MVP deserved by Hit It Over once again, showing that, you know, he's a flexible duelist. He showed out on Iron Man, he showed out on Moon Knight, and that's definitely, I feel like, where CWLA were able to adapt well.
That they were. Pitted Over being rather dominant on the Moon Knight this round. A kind of unexpected turn, but a grateful turn to see anyway.
Yeah, great thing to see. That'll be CWLA 2-1 in the series. For McKillop, they they played well. I can't discount them by any means. I was going to say Cheesy the Noob was very good at what he was doing there. You know, very flexible kind of characters coming out from him, and overall McKillop showed a lot of flexibility in terms of some of the picks. It just wasn't their day, as it goes sometimes. CWLA gonna put that one across on towards the board. But yeah, that is going to be it for us this afternoon. I was going to say we've got to thank our sponsors though. So of course, shout out AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide the best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. Power up your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech. From high-spec precision gear, Officeworks has what you need. And last but not least, Indomie the Noodle partner, made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Smiles, shout out our sponsors. Of course, we love them.
Love all of them there. They have helped us host such a wonderful set of games today, and we wouldn't be here without them today.
Yeah, wouldn't be here without them. Some great games. And, of course, a great show for you guys this afternoon. Again, shout out to you, Smiles, for joining me. And as well, shout out you guys all at home for watching. And shout out to the teams for the games today. We're going to be wrapping it up there. We'll see you back next week for more AEL High School action for Marvel Rivals.